I'm ready to do it anytime.
Good. So
Okay.
Mohammed, thank you very much for being part of
Okay,
this
sorry, yeah, because
conference.
I didn't prepare any slides, because I was assisting to what you did yesterday, and just to kind of exchange and stuff. Yeah.
So what I'll do is give me 1 second to put up what we are doing here, because I think
Okay.
that's
Okay.
Shireen is not here. Shireen was supposed to join also.
Okay.
Shireen, but she hasn't joined, but maybe she'll
Yeah,
join
yeah.
later.
Yeah.
So basically, artificial intelligence tools in mediating workplace disputes, fear or real help. That's what we're doing. And of course, the conference started on 18th May on Ken Cloke's birthday, which we celebrate. Earlier, I used to say I celebrate at World Mediators Day. Now I say we celebrate, because all of you join me in celebrating it. And of course, the sessions are all lying recorded. So anything that you want to tell us about the conference? Have you watched any sessions? Mohammed, anything that you want to, your
Okay.
comments?
Yeah, but okay, so a few words about this, because I am a little bit the topic of this conference, it came from a case that I treated, let's say a few days ago, and then I want to share it with you, and then see what is the input on this kind of big issue that is facing the world as a whole, and then in general, and then the mediation process in particular.
Okay. So what I'll do is, Mohammed, one second. I will just ask Ali to tell us a little bit about the conference, and then we'll get into the topic. So Ali, what do you want to tell us? What do you want to tell us about the conference?
Thanks for having me, sir. Basically, being a Gen Z, we have witnessed technology being pushed down our throats all our lives. I have seen technology being pushed down being my throat all of my life, and it's interesting for me to see if we need AI in mediation or not. So because mediation is a kind of field where human touch and human connection is very necessary. So it's a challenge for AI to cover that gap which humans can only have.
Okay. I'll ask you to talk about the topic after Mohammed finishes his presentation. I was asking you to talk about the conference. What is it about the conference that you have watched and all that? But later, we'll do that later. We'll ask Mohammed. Mohammed, please, you have to tell us a little bit about yourself and then into the topic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Mohammed Bachiri. I'm from. Okay, I'm Moroccan. I am working with the United Nations special agency, which is called UNESCO in Paris, and there I am the senior mediator of in that organizations, and then working with the 3 mediators. I am the head of this mediator, coordinating and leading, all the social aspects of mediation in that organizations. Being in networking with the mediations of the United Nations, we are working all together, and we have a platform, we have networking to share our finding and our discussion about how to improve and to consolidate the mediations in the United Nations.
Perfect. So what we do is, Shireen has also joined us. So Shireen also will tell us a little bit about herself. Shireen, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into the topic? But if it'll help if you unmute yourself. If you unmute yourself, it'll really help. But otherwise, we'll lip read. Okay, so I think she's planning to unmute yourself. Are you planning to unmute yourself, Shireen? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. You need to unmute.
Yeah.
She's trying to say something to us, but we can't. Okay. Doesn't matter. She'll come in later whenever she can.
Unmute, yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm based in Bangladesh. I'm a mediator accredited with the Center for Effective Dispute Resolution. And I'm attached in Bangladesh to the Bangladesh International Arbitration Center. I've been a banker for many years, and I am involved in commercial mediation. So yes, the workplace disputes fall under commercial mediation.
But
Thank you.
But have you, Shireen, have you met Mohammed? Have you said, I mean, have you connected with each other?
I would like to say hello to everybody.
So yeah,
Hello.
Mohammed is doing his best to say hello. He's put both his hands up.
This is the way I'm doing with my colleagues. So because I'm
Yeah. So Mohammed is there, of course, and Ali is a student in Pakistan, and he's very closely following the sessions of the conference. So he's been... So Mohammed has just told us a little bit about himself.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
And then,
so,
of course,
the topic is, artificial intelligence tools, and then I'm not going to talk about the tools of the artificial intelligence. You have a lot, and then you see it's a progress of the tools are evolving every day, and then we see how they are using, and then I'm not going to, but the process is there, the tools are there, and then this took a lot of importance the last few months when this last tool came out in the world, and it had been discovered, and then you can imagine how the world have been completely concerned by the ChatGPT-4, I think. So then those tools have ushered in the groundbreaking opportunity in all domains of human being, social life. We have them in education, we have them in health, especially in health, because they're very urgent. We have them in economy, finance, judiciary system, and so far, mediation. So why mediation? Because I make some research, and then I work with my colleague, and then see you have mediator who are using the AI are well known as virtual mediations. And then you have virtual or even digital mediations. That's why I put on the topic, conflict resolution in the workplace is very specific for me, because you have mediations on other domain. I'm working in the workplace where we have social disputes, social conflict, social misunderstanding between human beings. I'm not working about the problems of, as we say yesterday, marital or divorce or something but it's very specific for me. And I want to keep myself in that workplace with the tool that we're using, just for being very clear. And then the mediator are using part of the artificial intelligence in their work. But at that time, as a tool, as very simple tool, whether those tools are improving the work we're doing or not. The question put in the topic is how we're going to manage, how we're going to face any dispute that can come from the use of these kind of tools, because many of us are not well skilled sometimes, or even well educated for special education, to deal with them. As far as they are at the level of using us, we can master them, we can manage them, we can control them. They are tools, and then we were happy to do with them. But with what happened last few months, everything is going to bypassing us as a mediator. And this kind of thing is posing a lot of problems in the workplace. Workplace means, as a mediator, what you have to do. Managing or taking into account, something that I forgot to tell you from the beginning, was I respect it very well. I'm working as a mediator. I have my codes of conduct. Those code of conduct should be put forward at the beginning of each action. So those code of conduct oblige us to respect them and to work within them. That's a framework, the boundary. And then we have to respect them. As far as the IA tools help us to do what we have to do, for example, help us to schedule our work, help us to program our department help us for those who are invoicing to share, the cost of the mediation between parties. For those who have to apportion these kind of things, it's easy and it's good. At that level, I think, and then we have part of this AA there, even if you don't, but we work with, the dispute are, I put also, I think, the ADR and ODR, because ADR are very, 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 very often that are working on a present between parties. Now, with the international mediation, then you have that ODR, and then you are working on virtual way. So you need to use all these AA tools to help yourself to fulfill your mission around the world, especially for myself, because I am located in Paris, but I am working with more people outside of Paris. Then the question puts how we can deal with these tools that are evolving very quickly, and then we are not prepared when they start to overcome certain domains which are reserved for human being, for the mediator. The mediator is not only the one who can say yes or no. The mediator is bringing something completely different from the classical things. Mediator, according to our code of conduct, and then is to use all what he has in his mind and his hand and around him in his environment to help parties to settle a dispute on a win-win basis or suitably. That's I try to not do win-win because I'm going to go to some other things that's maybe Vikram like a lot. Mediator is putting together two people to find a suitable solutions. So you put a lot of your human, let me say the word, ingredient that are not yet in the AI. And those ingredients are still valuable for us to help to solve or to help solving the dispute. The time when the AA came in, and then some of our colleagues can use it, and then maybe they will be completely against what the mediator can do. Sorry. What's the problem? And then we have some cases. If you are a staff member, a personnel, and you have a director who used the AI to prepare your performance reports, because he got all the information, you know very well, better than me even, that the AI is working on the collection of data. The more you have a lot of data, better will be the issue of any tools of AI to be implied. So some cases are coming to that the AI has prepared, the performance report of the person, where more than 75% were missing. What can we do? Here, the mediator has to analyze the fact, to speak with people and to see. And then I'm not able really to analyze the tool who was used by someone, because I'm not well skilled for that. I'm still using my emotion, human ingredients, my environment, all that human skills gave me to do my job. These are, there is good things. There are good things because it may help, but there are bad things that may create problems between in the workplace.
So what we'll do is let's get Shireen's view on this. Yes, Shireen. Shireen, do you want to come in? Look, unmuting definitely helps. I have noticed that if in Zoom you unmute yourself, it really helps. It does. I mean, it's noticed by people. She's trying, she's doing it. Yeah.
Okay. No, I've been following what he said, and you said, is it fear, AI, the use of AI in workplace dispute resolution? So now, as he mentioned, and as we all know in this area that we work in, it's not just online ADR, it's now intelligent ADR, okay? So AI, whether we like it or not, will come in, and especially insofar as workplace. Now, when you go to define the workplace, it's huge. It's not just corporates, it's labor. It could be the factory, it could be anything. It's a huge, it could be the government as well. So insofar as AI is concerned, use of AI is concerned, whether we as mediators like it or not, that entire data or the background will come into place. But as he said, and as I agree with him, is that the empathy that the mediator provides is not in the AI anymore. The facts will come through the AI, but not the empathy, or not that human factor that mediators use the emotion or the facts or opening up the mind. That cannot be done by the machine. So I don't think that I believe that the mediator's role does not become obsolete, especially in workplace disputes. But I do believe that AI is here to stay. And even though the world has said that, wait 6 months before implementing it, it's already here. Before the regulations like the nuclear safety is put into place, it's already here. So insofar as working with that data, I believe that it will smooth the mediator's work. I believe that, the best alternative can be presented much faster. And when you present a result, you present facts to both the parties based on the incoming data, I believe it will help them to open up their minds. But whether they accept or not, and yes, the machine can always make a mistake, but the machine is neutral. If one person's lawyer gives them the options, the other side gives them their options, and still there's some confusion. But with the use of the AI and the data from the AI, then the mediator will be able to work on just one option. I believe it will facilitate to a great degree. I don't believe we as mediators should fear the use of AI, but I believe that we should use it consciously. So I've said my bit. I'm going to ask Mohammed or yourself to give your opinions.
Look, I'll tell you one thing that you people will have to discuss. One is using AI tools. The other is AI as the mediator. And when you said about empathy, we'll be discussing empathy, neutrality. Those two aspects need to be discussed, but I'll take it up after Mohammed comes in, because I think there is lots that I of course will take up later. I think first Mohammed wants to come in. Yes, Mohammed. Anything that you?
No, I fully agree with you, word, because my boss in the United Nations is sharing too, and then we're working together. Good. No, I totally agree with you. We shouldn't be. There is no fear from. We have just to domesticate it. Let me. Maybe the word is stronger. We have to domesticate it because there is no reason for being back. The question is, the tools are, the development of this kind of tools are so quick, so rapid that then the regulations or the rules are so completely absent to find the solution. But I totally agree. We have to be completely responsible for what we're doing, and then we have to master, these kind of tools and use them when it should be used. But we have to keep that kind of thing that the mediator have very specifically in his mission. We are completely human. everything, every resolutions came with, as I told, the human ingredient that we can add to find the right solutions. And this is very important. I'm not fear at all. I'm just trying to explain. Those who are fear of the AI, they are the philosopher. You know, I think I give you one statement at the end if you want, what people are thinking about it. But I am completely in adequation of the right use of these kind of things to help us to solve our disputes in the workplace, please.
Look, look, my comment is going to come from the kind of work that I am trying to do. I'm saying that, like you said, the human part of it. The human part of it comes in when a person has that mindset, when they feel empathy, because Shireen said empathy. Now, there is on the other end, there is this, I call them 40-hour factories, which are making mediators. Now, those in that making mediator process, they tell them how to show empathy. Now, in that kind of situation, I feel artificial intelligence can do a better job if you want to create mediators like that, because the human element comes in when a person, it comes from within. So if we want humans, then we have to get those people who have that mindset and get them out, which is what I'm trying to do with that World Mediation Circle and the circles. I say, identify those people who have that mindset, who feel. So it is a difference between feeling and showing. I hear there was this session we had on empathy and mediation in the conference itself. And this person was telling us, Eunice was there. She was telling us about how to show empathy. You were trying to put it down into 1, 2, 3, 4 things, like this is how you show empathy, this is what you do. That the machine can do a good job. You can give it access to so much more information. The only thing that is coming up in limitation is that mediations are not recorded. So for the machine to learn things, it needs access to more material. So I'm saying, why not let the machines look at mediations, be part of it, and become more intelligent? And we need lots of mediators out there. So on that, in that background, what is your comment, Mohammed? Anything that you want to say there?
No, I totally agree with you. The problem is, you know, as far as the artificial intelligence is not able, for the time being, is not able to bring into this kind of tools, you know, what I'm thinking about, something about my case, I'm free. I'm free because you remember, I think in one of the symposium we work about impartiality, and then we forgot something which is very important, which is informality. When you have informality, nothing is coded, nothing is registered. It's informal. It's only in my own environment to work with this case. So the best information to help me to resolve this one, it is with me. I'm not giving it to anyone to be coded and then to be get into the tools.
Okay, now Shireen, in the background that I just spoke about, any comments on this aspect?
I am going to talk. He said a while earlier, and I'll just deviate for a little from what you said. I'm going to talk about the fact you said, you know, you could let the machines be the mediators, correct?
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is in the mediator is the code of conduct and your standards. Now, if the machine makes a mistake, where do the standards go? Where does the code of conduct go? So how do you replace the machine?
Yeah, the code of conduct are some how you can heading.
Yeah.
Okay, only heading. When they say informality, it gives the mediator a lot of space in it to work on it.
Correct.
And then I'm not giving to anything, you know what I'm doing. Okay, even to my bosses, only the results will be taken into account. So I'm still. Maybe we will come to it. I fully agree. Maybe in the future, and then what we will come a co-responsible on one hand the AI, and the other hand the mediator on the system itself. Because when the system or the tool will take everything from you, so you have to co-manage it or to be co-responsible for it. And then this is really another issue for the future.
I think what Shireen is saying is that can you get AI to actually follow a code of conduct?
No.
And
Or
I'm saying that this is programmable. Anything is programmable.
Yeah. No, for the time being, yes. You know, when with the code of conduct we have, they will take partiality, informality, neutrality, and okay. But the problem is what kind of things you are putting into it.
And it's
Yes.
not it's not about putting into it. It is actually has to learn. Are we giving it enough information to learn from? Because one is that you actually give it a certain kind of a limitation as to what it has to do. But beyond that, if you don't let it learn, then it's not artificial intelligence. So it has to observe. For me, the problem is that where do you give the opportunity to the machine to observe and learn and then become more
And
intelligent? I think that's where the little
yeah.
limitation for me is.
Yeah, it's a limit for the time. It's a limitation, but you know, for the collection of the data, etc., etc. Who knows? Maybe they try to confine and to come to something in the future. I'm not because we're happy. I think for at least I'm talking about me. I don't know with the other colleagues when I heard the organization is the same. Okay, for me, I'm very confidential, and I'm not reporting to anyone for what I'm doing, except for the results. When I settle the case, everyone is happy the case is settled. But how I did it, it will stay with me.
But are you going to let a machine observe your work or not? So first of all,
No.
are you going to give it?
No, because I am out of the system. I am out of the system.
Look, if we are not going to let it learn, then what is? Look, I mean, the thing is that think of it from a larger perspective. We don't have enough people with the mediator mindset. The other side, we have people being created as mediators. We'll make you a mediator. We have that happening. I'm saying for that part of it, machines will do a better job. That's, I don't know, Shireen, what is your comment on that? Can they do a better job?
You're right. You say for that part of it, the machines can do a better job. Those who don't have the mediator mindset.
Exactly. And that's what happening is that we are not being able to get those people with the mediator mindset outside, because for whatever reasons, they have either not been valued over time, communities have not valued them, families, and if the same thing in the workplaces. So when I'm saying the work that I'm doing is to identify them. So if we are going to go in that direction, that we have those people with the mediator mindset, bring them out and use them as mediators, damn good. But this other industry also exists, which is making mediators. That's the one that is actually making money out of mediation. The training programs, 40 hours will make you a mediator. That part of it exists. So for that, I'm saying I would think that we are better off to let machines observe and become more intelligent, rather than we saying that someone has programmed. It's in a way you're programming a person. You're saying that a human being is sitting there as a mediator, but someone is programming them to tell them just the fact that how you have to respond, how you show empathy. If you have to tell some human being that aspect, such a simple aspect, then there's some issue with the people that you're bringing out, because that has to come from within. So that is what, if that happens in training programs, then I'm saying that I think we are better off with machines, because we need lots of these mediators out there. So I would rather have a machine which has access to so much more content. It has the best, I mean, imagine the best content in the world in relation to conflict resolution, dispute resolution, everything. So theoretically, it has access to the best. So if you say on a training program, one particular individual is going to give their knowledge, here it has the knowledge of thousands of people, the best in the world. So in that kind of a situation, Shireen, look at it from that perspective, and then.
But do you honestly see two people from opposite sides listening, putting themselves in front of a machine and being satisfied with that?
I'll
tell you what you do, Shireen. What you do is have a conversation with ChatGPT. Think
with?
that ChatGPT, say that, look, ChatGPT, you are the mediator, and this is the dispute that we have. This person, whatever your dispute is, see that conversation, and you will see, this is at the stage when there is no access to actual mediations to the machine. Machine doesn't have any access to that. I'm saying if this level have that conversation, see what it says, because look, there is that first layer. If two people have a dispute, the problem is they're going to lawyers. Now, if they have a layer in between, that a machine, they can have a conversation with a machine who might give them a better direction, I'm happier with that, rather than a situation where they don't have any access.
Yes, that's true.
So maybe we can look at it now. I mean, this is where I'm saying that fear comes in, because for people like you who have that human touch, you bring that aspect of it. But what about that access not being available to people? A lot of people don't have access to that. Like I said, the media mindset, it's not something that is available to people today. So I am trying to bring that out, but it's going to take a long time.
No, Vikram. No, you're completely right for that kind
You're
of
right.
things. Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. No, you're right, because you are putting a tool where there is no tool, but no process. I totally support your idea. The problem when everything is there and let's to work, but this is some kind of to replace the vacuum of the mediation, and then you can put this kind of thing who can at least do some job for the mediation. Yeah, it might help the mediation, but now taking out of for the future the responsibility that will be evolved or came from the use of the use of the tools.
Because
who is responsible, the mediator or the IA?
Look, I tell you, from the workplace dispute
Because
aspect,
you're telling me, okay, I totally agree with you in the process, yes, but for the finding, when you have, if you system bring problems, who will be responsible? Remember the problem of I think you were of what's happening with Tesla 2 years ago, when a car without driver have an accident, and we see who is responsible for the accidents.
Yeah,
this kind of things. But this is for the process. I have no problems. As far as we need it, we need to tool to evolve, to advance, to make progress. Why not? But we have to master it. We have to be capable to direct it.
no, I think Mohammed, what we have to look at it from the perspective of, if a machine gives an output, it is still going to human beings who still have some intelligence, hopefully. So they will pick up what they have to from it, and they are able, if they should be smart enough to distinguish between what they think is right or wrong. So we are not, what we are doing is, we are saying that when artificial intelligence exists, human intelligence will become zero. I'm saying human intelligence is there, but you're just giving it a certain, maybe a direction, maybe a certain space where space doesn't exist. Because look, workplace disputes, a lot of them don't even come out because a lot of people don't want to take those things up at all. So it will never go into a process of resolution in the system, because people don't want to put them in the hierarchy. They don't want to. They have their fear on that. So in that case, if they have an option available where at least they know that this is not reporting to anyone in any way, this is, look, confidentiality, we know Mohammed has that, definitely. But a machine you can program to has total confidentiality. Total. You can do that and nothing goes out from it. So, I mean, we're just looking at it from that. I mean, let's just open it out as to where we can look at it from beneficial things with the problems that exist in workplace disputes. So Shireen definitely has a comment to make on that. Yes, Shireen.
You said two people who have a problem can go and they can go on to ChatGPT and say, the whole thing is the recognition of that problem.
Thank you very much.
Mediators is the biggest difficulty is getting those two parties to agree to the fact that the dispute exists. It only exists as a dispute when there's written communication between the two. Whether it's in the form of letters or emails or whatever, there has to be, and then there has to be the acceptance in the mind of both the parties. Okay, fine, we are going to use an outside neutral party to decide on it. So that change of mindset is what is most important.
Yeah. So that's a whole area of development, that part of it. But look, the neutral part of that, neutral word, I try to keep away, because that by itself is a whole debatable thing. I've had a whole symposium on that, a whole symposium where we discuss neutrality. So neutrality for a moment, I'll keep out from there. But I'm saying that the fact that you can actually reach out to someone else through a machine, maybe, knowing that this machine is not part of the hierarchy of the organization.
Correct.
So that at least one fear of a person to take up a dispute and try to resolve it with someone directly, maybe look, we have to look at it from where all issues come up in workplace disputes when they're not resolved. What could be the reasons for not for them lying there pent up but not being resolved? So do we have an option available where, because it's all about trust. Problem is that you don't find those people you can trust. I mean, to create trust
Yes,
is something
it's a trust issue.
yeah, totally a trust issue. So here, is it something that can be trusted by people to start with and say that, look, this is a machine, it doesn't give any output to anyone, that can be insured, and it is explained within the organization that it has been programmed in a manner that whatever happens between the machine and you stays there. It is not being recorded somewhere, or whatever way you have to give people that thing, but it's been programmed in this manner that now this data cannot go out. So that confidentiality aspect can be taken care of very well. That's one part. So, but
I have
Ali
a
wants to
question.
come in. Yeah, Ali.
So you mean this whole book will have to be put into the chat GPT or something?
It already has all that. I'm telling you, okay, maybe certain books might not be available. I don't know how much content is being given to that, but there is a lot of information which is, look, books also pick up from a lot of places. So there is a lot of content out there available for these. I mean, we'll be surprised. I mean, when we look into, we don't even know what all it has access to. It's picked up from the entire, I mean,
Yeah.
the database of
Just
the
let
world.
me digress a little. If you're saying the machine will be fed information, in the subcontinent, or at least I know in Bangladesh, there are not enough mediation cases that are available in written form. So the most of the data will come in from outside.
But this is what I said.
It won't have a global picture. Just to give you an idea, the other day I was talking about it in another forum, and this university professor said, he said, no, he wasn't threatened by AI because he could tell which of his students would use it and which of his students were using something else. To give us an example, he said, well, somebody said, write a letter asking your boss for a day off, for a leave. So he said the letter comes back and says, dear Professor so-and-so. So he said, I immediately know that it was done by the machine, because here we would write, dear sir. We would never write, dear Professor so-and-so. So those are the little things. I mean, you pick up, the machine is not always right. And the machine, the data that will come out will be based, the results will be based on the data that has been entered.
Yeah. No, look, the vacuum that I am saying is being filled is that there is a space where the first response of any dispute, if it goes into a confrontation rather than access to something,
Yeah.
I mean, we're calling it artificial intelligence, whatever you want to call it, anything that you can actually in some way interact with and can maybe take it into a direction where, yes, you start looking at resolution in a certain way. I'm just thinking that first access to individuals is not available, because to escalate something and it goes into mediation is obviously definitely always, there will be options available and organizations will definitely create that. But I'm saying that, do we really feel that the machines will not be able to give that first response to take it into a direction? And who knows, and the second step that
Right.
it reaches out.
Will probably be able to do it, and maybe in a more palatable form to the disputants.
I think we should be open to be able to look at it, because I'm saying that there is definitely that whenever you talk about mediation and we say human touch, and Mohammed also said as a human, but is it really happening? I mean, my concern is that you are making mediators, and that making mediators is always going to be an issue for me, at least, because you're still programming a human being. It's just that we don't want to say that, but you're saying that I will make a mediator. I've had lots of discussions on this part, that I just feel that's a wrong way to go, and that's why mediation hasn't taken off, because you're trying to program human beings who do not have that aspect of them. And you will hear these three words, I will put it out there: heart, soul, spirituality are words that I keep talking about. These elements play a very important role. The energy that is there when what a human being brings in and all that. So if that is not a factor in the way people are perceiving mediation today, then we are better off with the machines. I just feel that. But Ali had a comment to make. But Ali, yes, Ali, we stop.
I basically had two questions. So my first question is that an AI machine can make very good arguments and very good reasons for its decision, but can it persuade people? Can it persuade people to comply with the decision that it has generated? And my second question is, there exists a moral obligation when a third person and a human mediator decides the issues between two parties.
Okay,
And
Ali, I'll stop you right there because you've gone into decisions. Mediators don't make any decisions. So this might come in a situation where decisions have to be made. So we'll leave that discussion out. We are not part of that.
This completely different.
Yeah, we are not even into that part. So that's a decision-making thing, whether decisions are made, where they are made, in what forum they are made.
Yes.
That's not part of mediation. Yeah. So
basically, I'm saying that if a settlement is made between the parties, there is a moral obligation between the parties, but can a machine persuade them morally to comply with that decision?
Which mediator can do that? Once
So
they've settled something, they've settled it. So that's up to them to comply or not comply. Mediator, look, I mean, there is a certain process happening. Now, end of the process, a settlement agreement comes in. Now that settlement agreement is now the end of that mediation. Now, what happens after that, depending on the situation, there are community situations where definitely moral aspect comes in and the mediator has a social standing in the community. And if it's not complied with, they go back to the mediator. So that's one option. But in the workplace situation, whether that is applicable or not, we'll have to, of course, discuss that. But that's something that is, maybe you still have to leave it to human intelligence also. If they have agreed to something, that's, I mean,
that's basically, I'm saying that if machine can do these things, how are we going to solve the disputes? Even if we feed a lot of data to these machines, AI machines, and they make very good reasons for the settlement to settle a dispute. But what if disputes are not settled in the end anyways? So what is the use of these machines?
No, the use, the mediations also don't all end up in, even if human being is involved as a mediator, they don't end up all of them in settlements. But very interesting solutions come out from machines. I have seen an example of that happening where in commercial disputes, they have come out with such interesting options, creative options, that you can actually look at it, and mediators are looking at that and actually using that to generate options. So in terms of generating options, of course, in commercial, there will be a different aspect of it. On the workplace disputes, there will be a different aspect of it. But very interesting creative solutions come out. So let's not undermine these machines. They have learned and they've got access to billions of pages. They've gone through the entire, think of something that has read the entire internet, whatever is available on the internet, everything.
Yes.
And then imagine
humanity's collective knowledge.
Exactly. So but now comes the next aspect when you talk about the moral aspect and those things that we can discuss, biases, prejudices, when you're picking up data from places, the prejudices in that data comes into the machine, and all those things are going to be definitely discussions we have to have. I mean, but that is it, how much of it is applicable when the next step is human intelligence? So whatever it generates, you don't have to accept it. This is not a decision. You're having a conversation. If two people are having a conversation with Ali, then in that case, what Ali says to them, if you are saying that they are going to blindly whatever Ali is talking about and they're going to accept anything, then we are undermining human intelligence also. So it's just output that is coming out, and then they will take it as the way they want to. I mean, look, this is something that has to happen on an actual basis. So Shireen is going to be having a conversation with ChatGPT today. She's going to pick up a dispute and say, okay, Shireen and Mohammed have a dispute, and now you are the mediator, please. And then you start that process. It's very interesting to do it.
I definitely am going to give it a try.
And actually take it through.
We will be connected.
What you do is, because let's not do it online, we don't know what kind of answers come in, but we can actually, after ending the session, we can open ChatGPT and let's start talking to it.
All right, we started. That's great. Do we have enough time left, or are we at the end of our session?
Look, in that sense, there is no time issue because there's no session after this. So time is not a factor. But if there is some, I mean, if you want to, of course, some comment that you have, we can take it.
No, I found it most interesting. I mean, we began with just the workplace, but it's the whole dynamics of getting in the required data. And then I was thinking on the lines of more as support data. But yes, you're right. There's so many issues that are so mechanical, but so they can be referred to the AI directly. But then, of course, it's the whole thing that there are two sides to the dispute. If it is one side, if you're looking for clarification, then it's fine. But there are two parties, and both parties have to agree to use ChatGPT. One using it isn't sufficient. Yeah. So you still have the mental block from the side of the humans.
And this will become something that becomes popular if people use it. Someone starts using it and then talks about it. Because mediation hasn't become popular as much as we would want it to be. So, and we still want people to resolve the disputes. We want that to happen. So if there's an option being created as, let's look at it as, for me, it's a stage in between, because I feel that if the work that I'm doing and all of you work with me on that, we'll find those humans who actually bring in what we want them to bring into the mediation. We'll find those humans. And when that collection of people we have, then at least we can tell them, look, you have this as an option and human beings are available to you. But today I can't say that. I'm telling you, I can't say that, because when I see the kind of material that is given to people in these, what I still call 40-hour factories, it's so basic. It's so basic. I'm telling you, the machines have access to so much more. And to even tell someone that, oh, you have to show empathy. I was finding that, I had that discussion in that session also. Just to even say that means that we haven't really understood that there are human beings who actually feel it. They feel that.
They're not having me told.
Yes. That's my biggest. Yeah, Mohammed.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just listening very carefully to what you said, and okay. Yeah, you talk about trust. It's a very big word in the mediations. So yeah, trust. The day the IA will code this trust in its programs. Okay, maybe we will arrive to what you say. But as far as the trust is still the possession or the assets of the human, okay, and then it can. It's the pillar of dispute resolution, I think, in the mediation, at least at my level. So for sure we will arrive to this kind of thinking in the future. It's a progress. I'm personally not against it. I'm just trying to see how can I go open it, or even at the same time to control what is going on. This is what I want. You can try and you can try, and for the time being we have many bad examples than good examples. Maybe the system or the system will evolve and will be corrected in the future, and why not? I have no problem. We have in mind, when we started to use the internet, when we started to use Skype, and we'll have all this resistance we have had in the past to use them. But human being is like that. But for our mediations, it's special missions. Yeah, it will be easy for the lawyer, because yesterday we were talking about the difference between lawyer and lawyer. Everything is coded. You have the text, you have the legal documentation on which, and the IA is putting everything, and then everything will be condensed and mixed, and then they can find the solution for you.
No, I'll tell you, interestingly, that is where the problem lies today with ChatGPT. It has given references to cases which don't exist. They don't exist. It's made up cases. It's made up sections of acts. It says this act, this section says that. There is no such section in that act. So there the issue comes up, that whether the information that is being given to you, there is this problem in the US. One lawyer actually picked up from ChatGPT and went and submitted in court. This case says this. There was no such case.
We have a lot. I have a lot of small examples, but okay, we don't have time to do. But it's funny. But so we are trying just.
Yeah, there's one court in the US has told the lawyers to file an affidavit that they
Yeah.
have not used ChatGPT.
Well, yeah, I found them. Yeah, okay, but I think, but the wisdom is, let's say, society need time to adapt. So the mediators.
But look, I'm saying that the aspect of that information sharing, if mediators can, and will that happen with the people, the participants also allow that, but if you can have cameras and access to the voice, you can actually, machines can pick up all the nuances of emotions and movements, and what we keep saying, people talk about body movement and eye movement and all that. It can pick up all that. It can, those machines and the cameras can pick up all that and learn from it. And whether that can help humanity or not, if it can help humanity, why not? If in some way, when you on a large scale, because the numbers of disputes, we are very surprised how many disputes exist. Okay, workplace is one part. I mean, in general, we have there was one report in India where it said only 3% to 25% of all the disputes come into courts. So if you look at the 3%, I mean, obviously figures are not available because we don't know how many disputes are out there. This was just their way of looking at it. So there might be 400, 500 million cases out there, disputes out there, only 18 million go into courts. So if you can give all these millions of people some access to something which can give them one direction in the right direction, instead of going to a lawyer. I keep talking about this only because it should not be a bad word. Going to a lawyer should not be a bad concept, but it has become that way. So once you go there and then you get stuck in a matter, instead, if that trust comes in, I mean, trust is there, it can easily be made, because it's not that you are now giving an output which is binding on you. There's no such binding aspect of it. So I think mediation is a good way to start, rather than the courts where, of course, AI has been used in China. There's a one court which is an AI court, and that actually gives decisions.
No, I fully agree with you, because I'm more optimistic than you about the mediations in the world, because I've seen, at least if in this side of the European countries, all of them are using mediation either on the private side or replacing, the judicial process and so on. So, but the mediation is doing well. Is progressing very well. And then here in this part, we have what we call the individual protections of that data protections, which is very complicated, but it's very used to help people to go facing, IA, and then do a lot of what you're doing, because our personal data are protected in the European Union. That GDPR. And then I think now it could start to be used, and it's not so bad for that. The only thing is just to be we try to understand how things are going, and so we can to control them, or to at least understand them, for not being put aside one day.
Okay, now give me some example. Now there is a dispute between Shireen and Mohammed. I've already started the chat. I'm not sharing it. I'm not sharing it because I don't know. Let's see what output comes out. So now tell us, what is the dispute? I'm going to put it out, because look, I told ChatGPT that you are a mediator and you have to resolve a dispute between Mohammed and Shireen. So what the ChatGPT says is, as a mediator, I'm here to help you resolve your dispute, Mohammed and Shireen. Please provide me some details about the nature of your dispute and any specific issues you would like to address. Remember, the goal is to find a mutually acceptable solution that satisfies both parties. This is ChatGPT telling us. I don't know. So at least, okay, let me put it up. So this is the starting point. Okay, so now it's a good start. The start is good. At least the tone is nice. Okay, so now tell us, what is the dispute?
What is the dispute?
Tell us. Mohammed, what is the dispute that you and Shireen have? Give us an example.
The dispute. I'm not. She's not fair. I'm fair.
Mohammed says that what? That Shireen. That Shireen what? Tell us.
That Shireen did not ship the books.
Shireen doesn't. Doesn't do what? That Shireen doesn't. Tell us something. Give us something concrete. Give us a good example.
Doesn't fear GDPR. Doesn't fear.
Look, you have to give us some actual situation that you have faced. Please tell us. Let us see how it goes. Some actual situation, Mohammed, from your
Okay.
workplace.
Remember, his
Mohammed
boss's
said
name
that-
was Shireen, so I'm being substituted for the boss.
What?
Doesn't fear.
Doesn't fear.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't fear the use of doesn't fear the use of IA in the mediation.
No, here we are talking about actual dispute between
Okay, so
you and
let's
Shireen. Okay, now Shireen is
Okay.
going to tell us. What are the facts, Shireen? What is the dispute?
I would
Shireen,
say that we just make it a routine sort of a dispute, saying that some books were not shipped on time, and I'm not willing to compensate him. You know, something like that.
Okay.
And
And
she
he
is,
was, and she is
Mohammed.
not willing to make the full payment, something like that.
look, I'm not the best in typing, so please
Yeah.
Something like that.
bear with me.
Yeah.
Artificial is also thinking, why do these humans have these problems?
He's not willing to make the
Now
full
you have to
payment.
think of provide the details.
Okay, so now it says, let's follow these steps. Okay, this is basics that it's telling you what to
Same thing, it's the same thing, active listening, you see?
do. Yeah.
It comes back to the textbook.
Yeah, exactly. So at
It
least
comes back to the textbook.
no, we'll get it. We're going to get into the whole discussion. Look, this is the starting point. You can keep having a conversation with it. So this is what it is telling you to do. So it's a good step. At least it has told you to do the basics, which, okay. Now we are saying that you've done this. For a moment, we say that this is the steps that is telling you.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But okay, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I
Now
remember
this
the
is
mediation.
what it has told you to do, and let's assume that Mohammed and Shireen have read this, and beyond this, now let's have the conversation with the mediator. So what would you like to say based on that? That we have whatever comes to your mind.
Okay, I will not pay
All
until I
is saying,
will
are you both ready to proceed with these steps? Okay, yes. So first is asking you for an agreement that you want to take it in this direction. Let's see what it says.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Look, it's just a
mhm.
okay. Mohammed, please start by sharing your concerns and perspectives regarding the delayed shipment. Shireen, please actively listen to this.
You know, this is not the language of the mediator. Actively listen.
Without interruption. Look, it's easier when a machine is telling you to it. You say, oh, maybe.
Well, and share your perspective on the issue of the delayed shipment. Okay.
Yeah.
See, we are back to the
No.
textbook.
No, we are going to
Okay.
get into it.
Mohammed,
First, the
please.
textbook
Okay,
part
I'm
has to go through. Yeah. Yes, Mohammed.
Okay. Okay. It's so simple. I will not pay until I will receive.
No, you are the one who has to ship. Shireen is not willing to pay. You did not ship.
No.
You did not ship on time. Why did you not ship on time? Why? Says that whatever. What was the reason? Why did you not
Okay.
ship?
Now, if the shipment is out of the delay, I will not pay.
No, you are not. Shireen asked you to ship some books and you did not ship it.
Okay.
Yes, you are the bad man. You are the bad man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so sorry. Okay, the shipment had been delayed because how you can say because of problem transportation.
Because there was a strike.
Also, yeah,
France is always on strike.
Exactly. You find it, yeah.
Strike of the transports, whatever transport system.
Because strike transport.
That's okay. Transport of the transport. Okay. Let's see what
transport. Yeah.
Let's see what. Okay, let's just see. What do you say?
What do I say?
Shireen says, I don't care a damn. I don't care. I didn't get the shipment. Let's see what happens.
No, I want to go back.
Okay. What?
Shireen says she was supposed to get the books for their literature festival, and she couldn't do that because they didn't arrive on time.
Exhibition.
So
That's
she
an exhibition.
actually had a financial loss. She couldn't sell. Now the books have come in. She has to wait until next year to sell them.
Oh,
It's still the same as we would follow it on a real life.
let's see. But to be sold, and now the exhibition is over, and she can't sell.
It's
the
over.
books.
Yeah?
She can't sell the books, so she will not pay Mohammed. I don't know. No, I have never tried this. So,
Yeah, but it's easy to settle it quickly.
but think of it for people who don't have access to anyone to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we are looking. Look, potential solutions we'll come to. So
Listen to perspective. It's important.
It's interesting, but it's the same. The process is the same that we use in actual situations.
no, we are now. It is you. Interestingly, solutions will come. This is a conversation we're having with that. It reaches a point. That's why you should keep having that, refining it to a point when you reach something. But let's see. So, what does Mohammed say? Mohammed says he understands.
Okay.
I hope he understands.
I understand, but how you call it? But the books, you know, the quality how they are, is on the way to be transferred, to be transported to you. Everything has been prepared. The shipped, yeah, I've been sure. Yeah, thank you. It's shipped.
And it isn't
Okay, but he has shipped the books.
But I think what we should have also put, we should have put numbers in it. That this was the value of the shipment.
Yeah, the shipment shipment, the shipment the books and is no that is no longer. It's not. It's not his fault. Yeah.
I would accept, if I was him, I'd say I'd pay part payment because it's going to be slow sales. If he accepts that, then
okay. So it's not his fault, but
he's willing to,
willing to
give her a discount.
To accept or to give her a discount of.
Let's see.
Discount of 20%.
Okay, fine. Then I'll accept it.
Okay, now at least moving on. Okay, now this is where the solutions come.
And then you have brainstorm solution, partial payments, you know, OPLO, compensation of other.
Yeah, please specify the discount.
Yeah. This is the book.
Yeah, partial payment with discount, compensation in other forms. You would be open to considering alternative forms of compensation, providing additional books or offering a credit for future purchase. And this is giving you some options. I'm trying to say that it's generating something from zero. There is right now people have access to zero. So you people don't understand that because you have that mindset and you feel that people should have that mindset. Surprisingly, people, for them, this is also a lot. So, I mean,
so it's still the same thing. It's whether you get it through a conversation or whether you get it through a machine, the steps are the same.
Exactly. So, I mean,
okay, so it's still changing the mindset.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, I'm just saying that because as a society, the way we have developed, that layer of people has kind of been removed. The people that you went to, who were the wise people in society and communities, you did not value them because your whole concept of valuing people changed. It was, you developed a materialistic society. That's what this issue was. Even, let me tell you, Mohammed, from Morocco, there was a symposium I had 2 years back. That's the first symposium of mine. In Morocco, he says, in the cities, the divorce rates are so high because there is no one that these people can go to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that first layer is not available.
Yeah, and then and then there are other reasons, for that kind of thing. But now things are started to be more wide open and accepted, because the system was so rigid for that kind of things, and there is no way for using a mutual divorce to discuss it, because everything was under the law. And so in many Muslims countries, this kind of thing was so tough. Yeah,
No, because he's a mediator from a smaller
absolutely.
town.
Now it's okay. Yeah.
No, but he says that if people had access to those wise people in their community, it would not have been that bad. But
For sure.
so I'm just saying that let's look at the artificial intelligence as the wise people that people had access to, because to find look, even if someone has to really today, don't look, you are considering it from your perspective because you are available. But think of people in various organizations. There are workplace disputes happening. They don't have access to mediators. Where do they have access now? For them to, and that's such a widespread kind of access available. We don't have those people with that mindset out there, because they were not the ones who have been brought out. So there's a lot of, I mean, I think this is something we should look at as not something which is going against the concept of mediation. I mean, in the sense of the way it's developing today, because it is developing this way, that, okay, we'll tell you the theory, this is what you have to do. And I'm saying that what ChatGPT is just generated for us, a lot of people who go to these training programs and are made mediators might not come up with so many things. I don't, I mean, you again are looking at it from your perspective, but the quality of training that is happening, we don't even know. Because you are not going to go into those training programs. Who's the trainer? It is now a matter of certification. This organization has certified you. Who was the person who trained you, and who was that person who trained you? Where did that person get their whatever that certification? So I have a problem with the training word itself, because the people with the mediator mindset don't need training. They have the mindset. Skill development. I'm saying skill development. I'm trying to change that terminology, because when you say training, it means it's like a dog. I can train you to sit and stand. No, it has a, you don't train them. Those are not. So those are my thoughts, Shireen. I don't know whether these are, a lot of people don't like my thoughts on these issues, and it's a little radical, and I alienate a lot of people because of these thoughts, but
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but when you say turning people into mediators, in that sense, you're right. But then in our society, we've always had these people at the village level, the shalish, the panchayat. It's always been there. So that's part of the society. But yes, society is, in our part of the world, is still evolving.
No, I'll tell you, Shireen, that you use the word panchayat.
Yeah.
Now, what has happened is that it may be, look, before the colonizer came to us, this structure maybe worked in a mediation format. I'm assuming, because obviously we haven't seen it, we just have heard about it. Let's for a moment think, yes, maybe it happened. But when the colonizer came, these panchayats turned into decision-making bodies. Now, today, if you ask a villager, the villager will say that the panchayat gives a decision. It's very clear for them. The panchayat gives a decision. There is no concept of really
mediation.
I mean, yeah. So now when we talk about mediation and you go and promote mediation, a lot of people go there and connect it to panchayat. The Supreme Court of India has a training manual in which they have connected panchayat and mediation.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and I talk to villagers, and you should have a conversation in Bangladesh. You talk to the villagers, and when you talk to them and you tell them about the panchayat, they will tell you that the panchayat, one, takes decisions. Second, to implement their decisions, the kind of things that they do, they thrash people.
Yeah.
They do that. They are known for that. That's the reputation that the panchayat has. And then to connect that to a process that we are trying to do. So now what I did was, this in Hindi, one conversation I had, which is recorded, it's lying somewhere. Some other organization had done this, but it's lying in there on their Facebook thing also. But I started with this conversation where I tried to talk about, first of all, they had someone who had come and spoken to them about mediation and connected it to the panchayat. So first I had to take them through the thing that mediation is not a decision taken by anyone. This is your process and all that. As that conversation went further, they actually came out with names of people. So up till now, they were talking about panchayat. And then when I explained the process to them, they connected it to individuals. They spoke about the entire mediation process, which is happening. So they know about mediation. They know about those individuals. No one has taken them, had that one little deeper conversation with them, because it's very easy to just put out one word, panchayat, mediation, and forget about it. We did our job. No, you did not do your job. You made it worse. You made the job worse for us. So if you have that little conversation with them and get those individuals in that, well, there were only about, I think, 16 or 20 school teachers from one village in Bihar. So out of those, 3 names came out. And they said that these people do the mediations in their house. They sit outside and they do them. There are children and other people who come and sit and watch those mediations. So now imagine that they are learning from that mediation. So
They're learning real life mediation.
Exactly.
Real mediation.
Exactly. So all that is available for us. We just have to put it. And this is where, when I said about, keep talking about this mediation circle, that's all I'm telling people to do. That just these people exist. Create it as a space. Tell people that this exists. You can do this. Because those names, those people will always exist. Only thing is, we won't value them, and no one will know about them. And as we go along, of course, the next generation will have moved out of the villages. So definitely they will lose all contact, come into the cities. They're all lost. These communities are not really communities. So all those things are happening. So I just feel that at the grassroots level, if we put it into place, but I'm sorry, Mohammed, I've taken it into a direction away from artificial intelligence.
No. I'm following you very well.
You know, excuse, it's what
I have a good experience. You know what you are talking about. That I have that kind of experience in Africa, and then I know exactly how was the things. It's the same thing as in Bangladesh or in that region.
Exactly.
You know,
culturally is the same. The only problem
it's
is
culturally speaking. It's from that. You know, we have these roots that help us to understand, and then I use them.
And the best part is, this is globally something we will all connect to, because this is a very basic aspect of human nature. Those people, the way they go about it, it's the same everywhere. So when you connect with those, you'll bring those people out. Everything that people talk about differences, there will be no differences. It will all be the same method. Everything they will do the same. The only concern, I tell you, Mohammed, is that Shireen is getting late for her, because I think she's already it's 10:15 now.
It's 10:15, so I'd like.
Okay, sorry.
So anyway, so thank you very much for you.
Okay, thank you very much. See you next.
Ali has been the observer. He was going to put it in a nice synopsis, and he'll put it as a post, and then we will all, of course, we'll all read it, and if we have to add to it, we'll add to it. So thank you very much. And please attend other sessions, join other sessions. Zoom link is the same. Just come in, Mohammed, Shireen, Ali, of course.
I will be at least absent for a while, and then
but if you have 1 minute, let me just tell you that, because you spoke about the aspect of not enough, in terms of information on mediations not being available. So there is one session that is happening where someone wants to talk about, let me just put it up there. This is time for a database of mediations.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So this is being discussed. So you can join this discussion also. This is on the 22nd at 7:30 India time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
You very much. Thank you for giving
Pleasure.
This opportunity to meet to all together. Thanks a lot. Bye Ali. Bye Shireen. Salut.
Bye.
Bonsoir de Paris. Bye.
Bye.